Hi, my name is Jason Chan from Banana Mana Films. We're about to use the wonderful Sony a7s on one of our TV productions. This amazing palm-sized camera is a beast in low light, which has opened us up to all sorts of possibilities in terms of lighting. But one of the things that's really important in any production is audio. So we wanted to test the audio here using various sort of setups of microphones and preamps. The preamp that we love is the JuiceLink preamp, which has a very quiet noise floor. So we're going to test that versus the Sony's own internal amplifier. And of course, we love to record sound directly into camera so that we don't have to do a lot of syncing afterwards. We want to test several things, several microphones. One is the Audio-Technica ATR35S, which is a nice, cheap, wired lapel microphone. Then we're going to go to test our wireless EW100G3 Sennheiser microphones, and also two of our shotguns. The shotguns that we like are a very economical AT897 Audio-Technica, and also one of my favorite microphones, the Audix SCX1. Let's test them out. So now we're testing the in-camera microphone with the audio level in camera set to 30. This is probably the highest you would want to set it to. Let's just have a listen to the noise floor. Okay, we're still testing the internal microphone of the Sony a7s. The audio level now is set at 20. And with me just projecting a little bit, I'm about 1.5 meters away from the camera. Projecting a little bit, we are finding that the volume levels are about -10 dB. There's a car passing outside. Let's just listen to the noise floor. And now we're testing out the Sennheiser MKE400, which is a mini shotgun mic that sits on top of the camera. It's about 1.5 meters away, and we've got the little volume boost on the microphone, which is a little amplifier, and the in-camera amp is set to 15. Now we're still on the MKE400 Sennheiser mini shotgun mic seated on top of the camera. This time we've used the negative switch, which means that it's not using any internal amplification. So we've bumped up the amplification in the Sony a7s to 20. And now we are testing the lapel microphone, wired one, Audio-Technica ATR35S. We love using this microphone because it's a nice wired microphone. We don't have to do a lot of setup. It goes straight into camera. At the moment, we've set the camera's audio setting at 20 so that we can raise my volume up to a good level in camera. So we're just testing this microphone, and let's have a listen to the noise floor. Okay, now we're testing the Sennheiser wireless mic, the EW100G3. The transmitter here is set to -24 dB. The receiver on the other end is set to -12 dB, and it's going straight into the camera. We're using the camera's amplifier at the setting of 10, just to get my voice up to a good level. So this is a test of what it's like to have the Sennheiser wireless mic going straight into camera, using a little bit of the Sony a7s's amp. Okay, we're still testing the Sennheiser EW100G3. This time the sensitivity setting here is -24 dB. The amp setting on the other side on the receiver is -6. In camera, we've left it at 10. And the audio levels are fairly hot now, reaching about 75% in camera. So let's just have a listen to the noise floor. We're still on the Sennheiser EW100G3. The transmitter is still set at minus 24 dB. The receiver, on the other hand, is set at 0 dB. And so in camera, we've managed to reduce the amp down to 5. We're still getting a nice hot signal in camera now, so let's just have a listen to the noise floor. Once again, we're testing the EW100G3. This time we're going through the Juice Link, so we're using the Juice Link's amp. It should be a lot quieter on the noise floor. We have pumped up the amp so that we can get a nice hot signal around the 75 mark on the audio levels. And the audio amplifier in the Sony a7s has been pushed down to 1. Now we're testing a couple of things. Firstly, we're using the Audio-Technica AT897 shotgun, which is a great little workhorse. We've used it on 2 productions already. It just works and works. And it doesn't require phantom power. You can put a battery in here. We're also using the Juice Link as the amplifier because, of course, the Sony a7s won't take an XLR input. So XLR going into the Juice Link and then a mini jack coming out of the Juice Link into the Sony a7s. Now, because we're using the amplifier in the Juice Link, we've turned the amp in the Sony a7s all the way down to 1. So we're testing the Audio-Technica AT897 with the Juice Link. So now we're still testing the Audio-Technica AT897, but what we're doing now is turning down the amp on the Juice Link as low as possible to about 1/4. And in the Sony a7s, we've pushed up the amp there to 15. So we just wanted to see what the amp is in the Sony a7s compared to the Juice Link. Let's have a listen to the noise floor. And we're still using the shotgun here, the AT897, this time going through the Juice Link at the very, very lowest level. So we've bumped up the Sony amp to 30, and we just wanted to see what it was like using the amp in the Sony versus the Juice Link, and what the noise floor would be at this level. Now we're testing a favorite microphone of mine. It's the Audix SCXE1. It's a Hypercardioid microphone. As you can see, it's tiny, beautiful, sweet sound, very sensitive indeed. It's going straight into the Juice Link, and so we're using the Juice Link preamp and then going into the Sony a7s. Sony a7s audio level is set at 1, and the Juice Link is set so that we're getting a nice hot signal in camera. Let's listen to the noise floor. One of the things we always wanted to test with our microphone and audio setup is whether or not there is a limiter in the camera. In the past, we've noticed that some cameras have limiters to, stop audio blowing out when you have a sudden increase in volume. That is sometimes a really good thing. Other times it's not, because you get a sort of a crushing of that top level sound. So we just wanted to test whether the Sony a7s has a limiter or not, by from time to time me just shouting really loudly or speaking really softly, followed by a loud section in my talking, or a shout. I'm shouting now. And if I shout, does a limiter kick in, or does it just peak and crush the sound? We'll see. So after all our audio tests, we found that the Sony a7s internal amplifier was quite good. In fact, up until the level of about 15 to 20, it was quite quiet. After that, it started to get a little bit hissy. So if you do need to do any interviews with a wired lapel microphone going straight into camera, or even the Sennheiser EW100G3 going into camera without an external amplifier, it works pretty well. However, if you need an XLR input or you want further control and an amplifier outside of the Sony a7s, we totally recommend the Juice Link, which has a very, very quiet preamp. Hope you enjoyed our test. Thanks for watching.